I apologize in advance, but I'm here again to help you spend your money. But just know every time I go on these sites shopping for deals for you, I end up spending a little bit of my own. Hi everyone, you've reached the Nick of Time Watch Reviews. This is our spot where we do reviews for value price watches, hunt down special deals out there across the world of the interwebs, and occasionally look at something a little more expensive that we can all dream and aspire to owning. Today we're doing another shopping video. 'Tis shopping season. Yesterday we put up the AliExpress video for all of the AliExpress Black Friday deals, and today we're going to look at Amazon. I was actually surprised when I went through Amazon to find some very common AliExpress names on there, but also some of the other brands that might be slightly tier up, at least in prices, and give people the option, the encouragement, and the enticement to potentially check those out. Now, I try to do a good mix here of Swiss brands, popular brands, and AliExpress brands on here so that you can get a good mix of the two. We try to move through these things at a pretty good rate. Now, as always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Click the little bell thing. Everything you do, the comments, the engagement. It's great to have feedback on the channel. I'm still developing how these things work out. I think we're about 10 videos in at this point, but committed to doing more, continuing to improve, but to continue to work and polish the channel into something that both you enjoy consuming, I enjoy making, and together we have a lot of fun. With that said, on to Amazon.com.
All right, first up is an Addy's Dive Automatic Diver. I actually have a steel dive version of the same watch on my wrist right now, and I swear it's probably made in the same factory. Everything about it looks identical. And for $90, it's about 15 or 20 bucks more than you can get it in the sale on AliExpress, but you get the great deal of having it show up at your house in a day or two, which honestly, sometimes the 15 to 20 day wait here in the eastern United States is interminable. But this bad boy is a 20-meter turtle style diver. Super cool, sapphire crystal display, Seiko NH35 movement. We've seen it before. Great watch, and once again, you can get it under $100 in the States. Really great lume. Everything about this is just an awesome watch. Don't be afraid of the size. So it's a 43.8 millimeter case, but honestly, because of the smaller dial and the way that it's built and the way that the curve and lug to lug works out, it makes it fit much smaller and you don't notice it on wrist, but it has a presence and is just very, very cool. You can get it on a couple different bands. There's some comparisons on some different models that they have with different finishes to the face. But the basic one, 90 bucks, super, super, super cool. Next up, I have a couple Swiss Tissots because at these prices, now these are, actually this first one is a Powermatic 80. It's an automatic Swiss Tissot with an 80-hour power reserve. Really cool, really classic, 39 millimeters, so it's a really size that'll fit almost everything. If you look at it, it is just Swiss-made quality. You'll feel it if you've been living the AliExpress Chinese watch game for a long time. To step up into this for maybe twice the price of what you're going to spend there, maybe 1.5 times, this is such a great value watch, and it from the features, from the date and day complication on it, the overall look, I think you can't go wrong with this watch. Tissot has some really great value deals, especially at this end on this sale, and I'm super tempted to get this. White, you throw this on a beautiful brown band, and it's just perfect. Also from Tissot, though, they have this Mecha Quartz chronograph. Really cool, interesting look. Once again, made in Switzerland, $300 during the sale, which isn't the best deal in the world, but when you think about what you're getting, the look, the presence on the wrist, and to get a real Swiss watch, you know, yes, it's a press steel clasp and expansion setup, but it is just a very cool looking watch that I think will grab attention on your wrist. And Tissot and Hamilton are really the two solid Swiss brands for kind of the entry-level watches, and you can't go really wrong with either from a value for money for what you're getting where it's manufactured. It can't compete with a Pagani design, but it'll destroy it in quality. Next is a watch that I think is amazing looking. And really, I think the only hang-up is how you feel about the name. So, Feisse? Not feces. Definitely not feces. The name is less than ideal, but it's a very Nomos-looking, Bauhaus designed, very cool looking watch. I dig the design of this one a whole lot. I like the type of band that they put it on. Feisse actually has a few different watches, and see if we get some better pictures. A few different watches out there. This one has it's a mineral glass display, but it's a really nice looking watch. Has a Sea-gull movement. It's Sea-gull 1701. It's in a lot of watches in this way. solid, maybe not the most accurate movement over time, but still very cool, very neat. This one's also available in black. The black's 127, or actually 127 with a sale. The white is also 127 with a sale. So depending on your style, just really neat, grabs the eye. It's really a matter of how you feel about that name. Moving on to the next one, what we have here is Citizen Eco Drive. Now, Citizen makes the Eco Drive's awesome. No battery change. Their pricing is fantastic. This one's $165 on the sale. Super cool looking. I really dig the watch. I like the dual chrono. Yes, it's quartz. Yes, it's mineral crystal. But from a nice everyday tool watch, go everywhere. Don't worry about it. You know that the 100 feet of water resistance, 30 meters will at least protect the watch enough. And I think this is really classy. This looks a lot like a Pagani design that I have up here on the shelf. That if you like that sort of look, it's very, very similar. Actually, if you wait a minute, this one will be on there too. So very similar look for this watch. But to be able to get it with that Eco Drive, never worry about anything. Very good deal, $165. The other one, this one caught my eye because, if you're into looking for like a Seiko 5 Sports, great alternative. And this is their weekender watch. Your sporty, do everything, really cool. Yes, once again, mineral crystal. That's an unfortunate reality. But it's an Eco Drive, no battery required, kind of a bulletproof standard watch. I think this looks really, really cool. The nice thing about these two is they're not too thick. That's the nice thing about that movement. But overall, very nice watch at the $176-ish range from Citizen, who, like Seiko, was really an industry standard for a quality, from Japan watch. Moving back to China, this one I put on here, $158 on the sale right now. I think you can get less expensive options. I think they're all $158 right now. And what they are is just over-designed, fun, different. You need a break. Olev's has a lot of watches on there that have very skeletonized movements, different sort of things. I have no idea how reliable they are long term. Perhaps if you guys are interested, I can get one in and we'll try it and shake it down and see how it goes. But if nothing else, it's a very cool looking design watch when you're trying to break up what you've got in your collection. Something different, something that when you wear it, you're not going to see other people wearing this same watch. It's super rare. Gives you a 30 meters of waterproof. It's a hardened glass, so it's not a sapphire crystal display, unfortunately, again. But very, very interesting looking skeletal moon phase watch. Next, a couple from Timex. And this is their Waterbury, and this is normally a bit more money, and now it's $97. And I thought this was a very good deal on this watch. You can also get it in black, only $80. But the 97 on the brown with two-way. I think this is a very classic looking watch. Timex is an ultimate tool watch. I believe my grandfather wore a Timex every day, and it was just, cheap, good, solid watch. Worked all the time, was accurate, and I didn't have to worry about it. Enough water resistance in case it got splashed, anything along those lines. Mineral crystal, indigo light-up dial. It's just cool. It's classy. It's a reminder that for under $100, you can get a Timex, and a Timex on anybody's wrist is a classy, classy thing. Likewise, this one also, it's a Weekender, but a slightly different setup. I thought this was gorgeous too. And likewise, this version, the Timex Weekender, not to be confused with the Citizen Weekender, 40 millimeter. I love the Indiglo setup, white dial, tan band. I've been a sucker for this setup recently. Kind of see it has a NATO style leather strap, meaning that it double tucks underneath. Nice execution on a chronograph, right? I think it's a nice size watch. Once again, Timex, timeless on your wrist, and that's the nice thing about it. Whereas with more expensive watches or whatnot, it has the full Indiglo dial, which is just super cool. For this price, I'm so tempted to pick one up just to see what it's about, and I very well may be doing so. Finally, a Timex Expedition, same kind of setup, same movement underneath, but even cheaper at $40, and it gives you a tool watch, your field watch, ruggedized black hardened case. Looks really, really nice, simple, go everywhere, do everything watch. Couple different layouts and stuff, but I think this is just a really cool dial. Ooh, the blue though, look at that thing. Anyway, very, very cool, $40. How can you go wrong? That might be the deal of the century on this list that we have today. Next up, for Pagani Design, I saw this recently and really was tempted to buy it. And you get it cheaper on AliExpress, of course, but here from Amazon, with it being able to show up with Prime in a very short period of time, $111, $112, I guess. And I think that this is a very neat execution on a diver. It's 100 meters, 300 feet. I like the orange accents on the strap, kind of the braided outside, rubberized backside of the strap. I think that it just looks cool and it grabs the eye and it looks more expensive than it is. I think it's another scenario where Pagani's white logo on the dial doesn't look out of place or look like a step down where you wish that there was something carved or whatnot. It matches the style of this watch very, very well. I think it's in a sapphire display, rubber strap, really cool, full automatic movement. I think it's just a really neat watch for $111. Likewise, if you want to get it cheaper and you're more patient, go on AliExpress, get it even less money. But you can just see here, NH35 movement, sapphire glass, has a ceramic ring too, all the little check boxes to get. Such a cool watch that I think is really interesting. And if you're interested, I recommend picking one up. Likewise, mentioned it before, this little bugger. This is the Pagani design Pi Time, they called it, which is not really a chrono. It's a small seconds along with a power reserve. I believe IWC has a 100-hour or full week or something like that power reserve watch, and this is their kind of take on it. Unlike IWC, I'm sure this is a bit thicker, but still cool. I love the blue hands. I love the blue indicators. The one thing is they did take off the Pi Time, and now it just says on the bottom, automatic 20 bar, 200 meters. But very cool, very neat watch. Reasonably nice band for the fake alligator setup. And for $85 and having it show up at your house very, very quickly, you can't go wrong. Really good deal. And it just grabs, I don't know, it's an attention grabber. Likewise, the Botery. So this is their Botery dive watch. It's very, very cool. Has a honeycomb face to it. I have the bronze version of that in blue with a honeycomb. Excellent strap, cool proportions, great size. It's really no frills and yet just enough frills to feel a little bit special. Also, Botery stuff comes in an amazing box and materials and whatnot that makes you feel like you just bought something crazy, crazy special. And for $120, excellent deal. There's a couple other finish options too. They have the one with a turtle shell material on the dial, and then the black one as well. So it's available in those other styles, but the blue one is the only one in the Black Friday deal at $119. So jump on board with that one. Next up from Heimdallr is their SKX 007 Homage for $127, $128. These are super cool watches, NH35 movement. They've got some micro adjust in the clasp. Great Luminova. I've seen reviews for these. They look really, really nice. And it's just a slightly different take on, it's a Seiko homage, but it's something different than a Submariner or any of the other ones that are out there. Just different enough. And I know the SKX is a, huge fan base watch. Everyone loves it. And this seems like a very nice take on it. And I like the fact that instead of seeing some strange, name printed on there, huge or maybe even printed poorly, it's actually an engraved sort of little shark applied to the dial, which I think gives it more of a classic look than some of its competitors. Another one I was surprised to see here is Caddis. This is their dive watch. It's an NH35 38 millimeter sapphire crystal display, black on rubber for $96, shipped to your door in a couple of days. I think it's just a cool watch. They've got it in a few different options on a strap or on a rubber, but I think on a rubber is a good way to go. What I've often find is that the under $100 watches, the metal bands aren't always the best, and so we'll pivot to a rubber or leather band or add aftermarket to it. But in this case, especially these style divers, I think the rubber is the way to go. Finally, our friends from Bernie for $109, which is extravagantly overpriced compared to what some of the Bernies cost on AliExpress, is this cool one, and it's kind of like a Tourneau shape, I guess, a little bit. Hadn't seen this one before. Maybe it's an older model. Has that luscious orange dial that has become, maybe a Bernie signature look. Now this one's kind of chunky. It's 45 millimeters, so big presence on your wrist, but only 20 millimeter strap, so you can still use everything there that they have it. I do not see what the movement is. It's probably a Miyota movement, if I'm to guess. It sure looks like it. Yep, it's a Miyota. So it's an 8205 or 8000 series Miyota movement, just like a lot of their other watches. But for $109, it's pretty cool. $105 on black, $109 on orange. Comes with that silicone strap. Does not have any other photos here except for what we have over here. Good loom. I know in my other Bernie, the loom is excellent. Bernie's really been killing it lately with their watch designs, and Definitely things that aren't just outright copies of other things. That's what we have on Amazon for Black Friday sales. Trying to get this thing up quickly for you all so that you can go shop, have fun, and see what you're interested in maybe buying. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. With plenty more videos coming up, plenty of watch reviews queued up as well, not just these shopping videos, so hopefully you stick around and enjoy some of the content. I've been Nick, you've been you, and just remember, it doesn't always take that much money to put something on your wrist that makes you smile. Take care.